What's going on, everybody? We're here for another late night Pokopia stream. I'm gonna go for as long as I can tonight. Gonna try and promise at least a 3-hour stream, but see if I can't push past further than that. We're standing here in the town square, looking at the tavern that we built yesterday. We'll go over that in a second, but first I'm going to blast off my link in a couple of places here, just see if we can't get some viewers. So hang out just for just a second and take in the views of the town while I get that done. I guess let me check all my levels real quick too. Yeah, looks like we're in good shape there. Just 1 second, y'all. All right, let me get back over to my chat. Let's double check everything one more time before we get going too far, because we don't want to get a stream started with anything broken. Nope, looks like we're in really good shape tonight. All right, so yeah, I did a few things on the build today off stream. I've been trying not to do that, but it's hard not to. I want to play this game all the time, but I don't want to stream all the time. But I'm keeping big things for the streams. I don't know what we're going to be doing tonight. I think we're actually going to be doing a little bit more story content, pushing forward on that, and wrapping up the last couple of abilities to hopefully unlock a few more options for how we build and a few more of the items that are locked in some of the PCs. You have to get the environmental levels up in each area to unlock those. So we're going to be hammering away at that. I'm going to leave the stream title, though, pushing Pokopia to its limits, even though at least at the start of the stream tonight, we're not going to be working on the Mega City build here. But it's representative of what we're doing here on the channel. We probably will be doing some building at the end, and it's a good name for the stream that catches attention, and there's also people that know to look for that stream title to find what I'm doing. So we're going to go ahead and leave that. So a few things that we need to start out doing. I guess I'll talk about what I added to the build today first. I dressed up the outside just a little bit more. I put these signs up to make it look a little more like a restaurant, and just messed a little bit with the front facade for like just balance reasons. Nothing huge was added there, but it definitely looks better. But then I did start decorating the basement a little bit. So, oops, need to run power down here, but I am going to leave the mushroom lamps. I carved out these little holes in the wall for them, and the pop art lamps hanging over tables with the, I think it's called the soft sofa or something like that on each side. Really makes a good booth. And I went ahead and painted them the same as our awning up front, just for some like matching branding in the restaurant. I started putting some of our artifacts and such into frames down here to be art in the restaurant. But it's also just a tavern community gathering space. So we've got like some rest area over here. Like I'm gonna put some shelves and books, maybe make it like a gaming space. I set this up because it was a habitat to bring Persian in, but I really kind of like it. And then this was a happy accident. I did not know that this stone fireplace and a bench was going to make a habitat, but it does, and it brought us Quilava. I kind of like those two hanging out down here. Although he keeps jumping up on these plants and it looks goofy. So we might find a different habitat to lock him to down here and change that up just a bit. Sorry, trying to... There we go. Didn't have my stream on the page that I like to see. Up here, I need to put in the floor, and it's gonna be like the reception area. I think that like the wall calendar makes sense there. You know, if people had reservations or something. And somewhere we're gonna need to add a kitchen into this build. I put these wood borders down around the patio that I think really helped tie that together. Oh, and the music that's playing. This is something I've been messing around with. So I stashed the CD player here where you can't really see it. And it works pretty well that once you get outside the vicinity of the tavern, you're not really hearing it. Then you pull up, and the tavern has its own music. I think I decorated this all up a little bit more. I found this gamer fridge and put it up here. Added the cash register. Something up here is a habitat that I tied Venonat to. And he's basically like our bartender. So we are going to be setting up a lot of Pokemon habitats today. So that looks like Poliwag. It's a bathtub and cleaning supplies. I have those, but I'm using this here. But Pallet Town is one area that we're going to set up some habitats to try and raise the environmental level. We probably will start doing some light building and infrastructure work out in some of these other areas. Even though the Wasteland is going to be our main building area for a long time, I don't have fun playing this game just gaming the systems and just like throwing items down with no rhyme or reason to it just to get the environmental levels up. I was doing that for a little bit and got them all up to about 5 today. I'm like, man, this is a grind and not how I like to play this game, not how I want to be playing this game. So instead, we're going to do it right, and we're going to start building in some of these other areas. You know, we're not going to go as crazy, but we're going to get our feet wet in these other areas and start building some basic infrastructure for Pokemon and see how that raises our environmental level. So I'm trying to think what the best way to get started on all of these different ideas and plans for the stream tonight is going to be. Excuse me just a second here. Get a drink. Got a fresh pot of coffee on for the stream, so hopefully we can do this for quite a while for you guys. The main thing I want to push forward on the unlock is the wireless power, so I can clean up this power line situation a bit. I still do mostly want to have power lines ran through the town because I like playing with them. I like the aesthetic of it. I like having them cleanly ran. It's just there's certain places that it's like, yeah, there's no way to do this that looks good without the wireless power. And so it would be nice to get that tonight. I think we got to push story in the Skylands to get that. Again, Pallet Town is an area that I started laying down Pokemon habitats. Got some people to put some Pokemon to spawn in, but haven't built anything for them yet. Sorry, I'm just killing time for a minute while the stream kicks off here and wait to get a couple of viewers, wait to pop up in people's feeds, stuff like that. Oh, another substitute doll. I've got plenty of those. It's fun to decorate with, though. So I'm gonna run around and look for, you know, artifacts, my ripples in the water, things like that, and just see if we can't get a couple items that might help us with our goals here tonight. Game is officially starting to get more than a little pissy with the amount that I've built as far as like some pop-in and stuff like that, but I mean that's to be absolutely expected. Alright, I don't see any ripples or anything. At least not in their usual spawn spots, but I may have already picked them up because I was playing a bit before stream. So I suppose let's start by looking at the habitat decks and decide on a couple of habitats to set up in Pallet Town to get some Pokemon to come in. And then we'll look at the Pokemon that I already have over there and decide who we want to like build a house for We'll come back to home base here. We'll load up some building materials to bring back to Pallet Town, and we'll start off the stream with that today. Getting going on Pallet Town. All right, so habitat decks. It's a nugget on a pedestal with 3 of those museum things on it. Any post around it, any pedestal, and any large lost relic, actually. Okay, that's easy to do. Any large lost relic. Several of things that qualify as such. Just do I have any on me? See some small lost relics. Yeah, Fire Magby statue. And we've got all the stuff to do that. So let's just start from there. Let's head off to Pallet Town, throw that habitat down. I think every night at the beginning of the stream is just gonna have hiccups for absolutely no reason except for YouTube being YouTube. Again, I don't drop frames like this when I stream on Twitch, but I like streaming over here on YouTube, so we're gonna keep at it. If anybody has any suggestions, any tweaks on my OBS settings or anything for why I might be dropping frames on YouTube when no such thing happens on Twitch, you know, go ahead and let me know. That'd be great. Alright, looks like we've got maybe some challenges to turn in, which is good because I'm running quite low on money. Wait a sec, what? Special challenge, you get rewards for these? Oh wow, and those are all the things that you need to do the evolutions, I think. Yeah, I was wondering how you get those. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So we'll get to work on that sort of stuff too. Bringing 10 total Pokemon to Pallet Town. Oh, that's an easy one to do. Set up our house, gets us the tea set. Dang, 15 building. That one's gonna take a while. Grow veggies is easy enough to set up. Different kinds of flowers. What do we do for the shaved ice? Make it easier to get around. Lifts. I don't like lifts, but we'll set it up just to get Glaceon. I'm a fan. Oh, awesome. This is gonna be Heracross? I think. No. Oh, that's the grass one I'm still missing. This is Pokeball. I don't actually know this Pokemon. Guessing that might be Vibrava's evolution. Well, he's a character. Displaying exceptional mobility, it weaves between trees and shoots down bird Pokemon with its electromagnetic beams. Yeah, Electric Bug is an interesting combo. That plugs a weakness, huh? And who do we got here? Magby? Didn't expect him to come from a flower bed. Okay. Is this where we want to start building, like, around the Poke Center or not? Like, what's the land layout like, too? Maybe actually building in a random spot on top of this hill is going to be a good place to build a house or something, and then can kind of shape our terraforming from there and work our way down to the Poke Center and all of that. But I guess let's go over here and set up that habitat. I know I have those exhibition stands on me, yes. Then we decided our relic was going to be Magby statue. And it said any posts, right? So, like, should wooden fencing count? Or is that going to be like, these aren't posts? No, that worked. That's a rare spawn, but I fed Mosslax a carrot, and that's supposed to increase Pokemon spawns. And I think the way that works is it just brings each one down a level. Like, it makes rares spawn as if they were commons, and very rares spawn as if they were rares. Haven't fully tested that yet, but that seems to be my observation so far. Kind of house. Could maybe try a brick house. Got some bricks with me. Not enough, but it can help us get started, you know? Trying to think how I want to do the foundation. And Palatown is so interesting and intimidating because it is just a total blank start, you know? Okay. Trying to keep some trees. I was really aggressive about cutting down trees in the wastelands, but I'm trying to go for maybe a little bit different aesthetic out here so that we're not just building the same type of thing everywhere, you know? Make sure we don't go too big that it doesn't want to be a house. Although we can always section it off with doors later, so it doesn't really matter. I think this is the shape that I want. Trying to think if I wanted to do a foundation though. Probably. just the start, though. There's gonna be a lot of bouncing back and forth between Wasteland and Pallet Town, and probably heading out to Dream Island when we need specific materials. Really gonna be playing this game tonight, not just building. All right. So yeah, if anyone's tuning in for the first time tonight, this is our loft that we spawn into. Our clubhouse under it. Got our balcony. Drop down to our main living level. Oops. It's tight, but then drop down to our workshop, which also has its own direct door. Okay. What do I have here? Got lots more bricks, that's good. I don't think we want brown bricks, though. What does the aged stone wall look like? That's like that sort of bluish stuff that they use, like... Actually, no, that's perfect. That's perfect foundation. And then grab a few more supplies while I'm here. Actually, let's see about crafting some of the things that we need. Thought I had unlocked the sachet windows. I'm gonna be using boat railing in this build. Running out of lumber. Alright, so that's one thing we need to do is drop some lumber off for Scyther to start cutting. Oh, we've got plenty of logs. Alright, Scyther buddy, come on. Hopefully he's home so we don't have to use a honey. Yep, there we go. I want to get rid of all of the prefab houses and get everybody, like, you know, their own bespoke houses eventually. But for now, it's doing a really good job of holding Pokemon while we do this 300-hour build on the town. Okay, I guess while he's cutting lumber, how much white paint do I have left? Did I put all my paints away? No. 15 white paint left. That's not going to be enough. And white you only get randomly. I've heard you can buy it from the PC in Pallet Town, but that's why we're grinding in Pallet Town. But I did have another idea, something I hadn't tried yet. I don't know if this works at all, or if it's just going to be like, no, that doesn't count as an item. No, cannot 3D print paint. Damn. Okay, Okay, well that'll... That'll get us started. I know one thing we're gonna need plenty of and need them painted. So I was playing around with this and it actually looks cool. We need the lumber for that. Alright, I've got 4 of them. That's the start. It's crazy how much prep work goes into building absolutely anything in this game or doing anything. But that's part of the fun of it. Telling you, Smigiru is never home. I wish I hadn't moved him. When he's where he spawns in Bleak Beach, he was just always there. But now that I moved him home, he just wanders off and does all kinds of crazy nonsense. Okay, paint 4 of these white for me, buddy. Alright, so he can paint up to 5 of those for 2 white paint. That's good to know. We'll try and make sure that we're painting those in groups of 5 in the future. I think while I'm here, I should probably craft a ditto flag so we can make that our house in Pallet Town and knock out one of those special challenges. And also so that we don't have to keep running over there, we can actually fast travel back and forth after this. There we go. Alright, back to Pallet Town we go. We could also bring someone with us to Pallet Town and have them live there. But I think that, you know, I'm kind of used to these Pokemon living in this town, and while I'm eventually going to make some decisions about who is staying and who is going, to bring some other cool Pokemon into our main town, for now, I'm sort of attached to them. Okay. That's the old house. Oh, is somebody here? Okay, this is gonna be Heracross, finally. Yep. Awesome. I've always really liked him. He's a chopper and a builder, just like Pinsir. Hey, environment level increased. We've gone from 3 to 4, which I think lets us start rebuilding the Pokemon Center here too, which is something that we'll definitely want to work on. Fountain Plaza kit, huh? Maybe it's level 5 for the Poke Center rebuild kit. No, we already have that. Okay, so yeah, let's throw that down. And then look at what all that new stuff was. A fairy doll. It's cool being able to buy some of this stuff that I used to only be able to find or craft. We can also see what's coming up next. Television, jumbled cords. Antique table, antique chair recipe, so the antique set recipe. I'll bet you have to get it like all the way up to 10 to be able to buy paint. It's probably going to be the deal. But I am very curious about the Fountain Plaza kit. That just looks like something that you could build on your own. We'll try it out. I'm a much bigger fan of the things like the Clefairy statue and the Pikachu fountains. Hold on, as usual, about 30 minutes into the stream on cue, my dog needs help up onto the bed, so excuse me for about 10 seconds. Okay, we're back. But yeah, the actual unique buildings like Pikachu Fountain and the Clefairy statue, that Fountain Plaza doesn't necessarily look like that's one of them, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, I decided I wanted foundation. So I guess one layer at a time we'll replace this here. See if I had anything to power up Rock Smash, but I don't have anything with me. Okay, we decided we're using aged stone wall for our foundation. At least I think. Let me see what that looks like with bricks on top of it. Yeah, that's the look. I probably should be pushing away on Skylands and not Pallet Town. This sounded like a fun place to start. Has anyone else noticed that if you hold ZL while you're smashing rocks and push forward, that you smash them a little bit faster? Alright, nearly there. I don't know if I have enough of this, we'll see. I think it's gonna be just enough. Which is good, because I don't think I have the crafting recipe for that. I think if we just make a really nice house here and then move 4 Pokemon into it and move us into it, it should raise the environment level here at least a notch. I haven't even fully decided what part of this house is what yet. Actually, what we're doing now. I'm just gonna work and not necessarily say every step of what I have planned here. You guys can kind of see what is coming into fruition here. We're gonna go across there. And this needs to be those aged stone wall. So we may need to find a place to go steal some more of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think I can craft that. No, but I think I know where we can go steal some. That's fine though, we can ignore it for now. Trying to think about layout here. I'm going to keep things super simple. I can make that decision a little bit later. Some things are going to stay the same regardless. So, front door. Gonna be right here. Then gonna do a window here. Show you guys what the hatch windows we had painted white were for. You did grab those, right? Yeah, right there, okay. So this is gonna look crazy for a second, but this is all gonna be for the window in a way. These hatch windows are never gonna get opened, and we're gonna put them in backwards. Even though it's a little bit weird with it having like a ledge, by the time I get the other windows in there, it's going to have the net effect of shutters. Especially after we get the awnings over the window and such. It really disguises and takes the eye away from the small inconsistency of the fact that shutters would be on the outside of the bricks and not recessed. might just do a really simple little brick home here. Might even use room partitions inside. If that's the front of our house, I'm going to ignore... We'll call that the north side for now, and we'll ignore this west side until the end, so we might actually do a little bit of an expansion there. That is as far as our bricks took us, huh? Out of PP. We're probably gonna end up taking down mostly this whole level right here. I know laying roads is one of those challenges, so we'll put a road down in front of the house as we get going too. Let's just say like here for the road. We'll decide if it's 3 wide or 4 wide later, and if it comes over one unit or the other later. But for now, this at least, you know, put something down and says this is road. Wonder what road material we should do. Might do asphalt. I unlocked that. I mean, I'm all about doing completely different vibes between the biomes. Like Withered Wasteland, I'm trying to do this whole like medieval, like realistic proportioned town with some like cottagecore elements, like the very specific vibe for what would and wouldn't work on our wasteland. But it might be fun here in Pallet Town to go, you know, asphalt roads and mailboxes, and like there's a whole bunch of props that are really neat in this game but don't fit the vibe for what I've currently been building, so we can maybe sneak those in over there. So we need a lot more brick. I need to bring a floor. Yeah, like that Pikachu fountain is neat and unique when they build it. I think that other fountain kit we got is going to be garbage. So let's lay it down and see what the materials required are. So maybe we can get that going over there too. And that's big. Maybe it's going to be cool. It sort of fits there. Already got a big fountain plaza, but I mean, I don't know what else I thought I was going to do with this area yet. Let's just see what happens. Of course, lumber, stone, and copper ore. Needs a bunch of stuff I don't have. Okay, forget that for now. Stay on track. If I was playing on my own, that probably would have just sent me down a wild goose chase, and we would have never made it back to Pallet Town before the end of the stream. But I'm gonna make sure not to do that type of stuff, all right? Let's do carpet. So I think I need to make a bunch more bricks. Have any bricks, okay. have a bunch of clay. We're gonna do some light time skipping here. Charmander's always around, so I use him a lot. Alright, make me some bricks, man. I hate that you can only give them like 10 at a time. Okay, so yeah, let's skip the clock forward like an hour so that he cuts that. And we can go, I mean, makes the bricks, and then we can go collect our lumber from Scyther. Such a struggle. Let's see here, an hour from now is actually that. No, that's a month. Okay. Are you done with them? Oh, thank you so much, Charmander. Alright, back up to Scyther's house. It's crazy to me that this build is getting so big that it actually takes quite a long minute to run back and forth just to find everything that I need. That's the first time I've seen him sleeping on his bed, and that's actually really funny. Alright, guess what, Scyther? I forgot to give more clay to Charmander. I'll do that on the way back out. But we need to keep these guys working so we don't run into this issue again during this stream. Looks like we're pushing into the first hour of the stream here. Once we get a bit more done, maybe the house done or close to done, probably at like the 90 minutes or hour, 2-hour point of the stream, I'll probably take about a 10-minute break. But that won't be coming up for a while. I just wanted to give anybody a heads up in case they wanted to break at the same time, or you know, just let you know what's ahead on the stream. Alright, so now brick wall. Let's just make 100 of them. What else did I need that I wanted lumber for? Then I also wanted to make a bunch of asphalt. Full. I can put the lumber in here. Then just gonna grab those. What was the other thing that I needed the lumber for initially? Oh, more of those hatch windows, but that's fine. We're not working with them fully yet. I'm gonna dump off a few things, but then dump off the rest of this stuff in Pallet Town. And we do have one sash window. So I'm gonna print a few more of those. Print a few windows, head back to Pallet Town, and keep building. I don't think I have enough carpet to cover the inside. We'll see. We're gonna probably have to take a Dream Island trip to get the carpet. Yeah, 6 will be enough to get us started. I've experimented a tiny bit with brick construction out on Bleak Beach. And I found some things that work well together aesthetically, but have yet to pull together like one full brick building that feels good. But yeah, I need to remember to throw my ditto flag down this time so that we can fast travel back. Come on, I'm just trying to get a high vantage point to glide. I've been trying to kick my streams off a little earlier lately, around like 10 or 11, to see if we can't get an earlier crowd that way, but seems like that's time that I should be spending doing what I usually was doing. It seems like after midnight that usually we got a crowd around, but I can't make that decision off of 3 nights of streaming, you know. We shall see. Keep doing my thing regardless. Okay, so now we've got our sash windows. Now that looks really good to me. Obviously we'll never open these windows, any of them, because it starts to break down and not really make sense. Like, what the hell kind of window setup would that be? But just aesthetically from a distance, it's like, yeah, we've got a nice white framed windows with white shutters. It looks good. This probably should have grabbed a door, but that's not important yet. This is my house building style. It's just kind of all over the place. It works in the end, but the process is a nightmare. Yeah, this is just some nonsense that I set up to have a house over here and to get these Pokemon happy enough to get the environment level up just a little bit. Alright, ditto flag. Perfect. How close are we to the 10 Pokemon in Pallet Town? One more. So basically, if our dude from this habitat comes, it'll satisfy that one. I was so stoked when I first got to Skylands and found carpet. I was like, really? That's awesome. Yeah, we're gonna need to get some more carpet, but as a start. Might just do a simple one-story house here, and then put some cool, oops, that's not the right thing. Put some cool things on the, cool features on the outside of it, perhaps. I don't know, I'm trying to build something that's going to look cool, but not be a defining feature of Pallet Town that we have to forever work around moving forwards. Like something like the big marble fortress that I built back at the wasteland, you know? I have an idea. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So we are gonna do an upper story, I think. Which means don't necessarily want to go all the way across the same footprint that we did, because then we just start to get a skyscraper look. Maybe something like this could be the... Yeah, that's gonna do. That's floor where... Oops. How many units tall are we? So 1. One, 2, 3. Oh. 4. So that's actually the level that the ceiling should be. Which is good, because I don't want to do the ceiling with brick. That is actually the right place to start building the second level. Awesome. So I think we need to go 3 high with this, and then the next level height will be like ceiling for this area, which I'm not sure if it'll be covered up. It depends how we do the roof later. But either way, I don't want to add something that we'll have to undo. I think we'll probably do wood floor up here because it works well with sorry, I'm blanking. It works well as a floor and a ceiling, you know. That's how those blocks are gonna serve. Alright, get these back. Need to build a window to match that one. So it's what? Oh, just all the way up against the wall. Come on, Ditto. Alright, awesome. I don't think it really truly matters which way those go. What about this wall? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Or a little bit of an awkward size to put that type of window on that wall. I think. Yeah, because it's not going to be centered. Not every wall needs a window. It can be a flat brick wall. My house has a flat wall. All right, more carpet, more aged stone flooring, more bricks, more hatch windows. Guess let's just start checking some of them off the list. Maybe we can look at some other possible habitats too and see if we can get some fun Pokemon to spawn in while we're doing work. Maybe. I first need to do what's within reason to do on this trip here to town that we talked about doing before I get distracted again. So we need to use that lumber to craft more hatch windows. Like, let's say 15 of them. I just know I need these for later, even though I know this build is not going to use 15 hatch windows. I woke you up, buddy. Make those white, please. Yeah, just all 15. I know I'm going to use white painted hatch windows and plenty of builds across Pallet Town, so that's a good investment. Pallet Town, please. I think to do the roof the way I want to do it, I'm gonna need a lot of white paint too, but I don't really have a lot of white paint. So might have to get Pokemon crushing some berries. So many things to do. One of these times we're going to turn around while we're building and there's going to be a new Pokemon over there. Very good. I forgot half the stuff I said I was gonna go get. Alright, we have some wooden flooring. Things are not cooperating with me at the moment. done a fairly successful job at flipping my sleep schedule around for these midnight streams. Is a time of day that I enjoy doing it and think I'm going to find some success doing it. But I do have a few moments here and there now where I'm just like, oh, feels like midnight. That's why we got the coffee. If I do get too tired, though, we can keep it a shorter stream. I'm not gonna push myself here tonight, but I do think that as we get back into the groove of things here, I will be all right. We got wooden flooring and a door and carpet. We could at least pretty much make that into a house to move Pokemon into. Wooden flooring I can craft. I don't think I have carpet crafting yet. Maybe I do, though. I did unlock a good handful of terrain types in the Skylands. Is that? Yeah, woven carpeting, and it's just twine. Okay, cool. So we're gonna make both types of carpeting, and I think I know where to loot that from. I think I grabbed some asphalt earlier. Thought I grabbed some asphalt earlier. No, I wanted to, and it told me our inventory was full. Which reminds me, one of the things that I wanted to do was throw down the large storage bin that I brought over here to Pallet Town and just start moving some shit over here. Not everything, obviously, but just some stuff. Or at least getting stuff out of our inventory that we're not using at the moment. It's like I've got a bunch of nonsense right now. Things I have no intention of using in any builds anytime soon. And that's all furniture, that's fine. Curtains, I don't need those, I don't need those. Just throw some of this random stuff that we... No, that I want to hold on to, because I want to process that into marble later. Start getting random terrain collection going here. Okay, wood flooring, woven carpeting, loot ancient flooring. And a door. I think we want our door to be white. So that's another visit to Smear Guru. I'm so extremely happy with how that's looking. So what were we needing for this again? Lumber, stone, copper ore is the main thing I don't have. Okay, wooden flooring. I think 40 is enough. Watch, we're gonna be just short of all these materials. This is my MO, is I don't count what I need, and then we have to do this all over again. I think 40 of each is enough, because we lay down a good chunk of each. And then I think that maybe there's ancient flooring that we can go steal. Yeah, like down in this whole complex where the slates are. It's all over the place. I don't plan to use much of this area at all. Yeah, H stone wall, is that what it was? Or we were... Yeah, it was H stone wall. This is just not going to be a big part of my build. I'm preserving the slate room. They should be happy with that. Honestly, I feel like the whole little idea of this tunnel here under the stairs might just be a place for players to steal some of this if they want to change some of this up or add on to it early. I mean, maybe it makes sense to make a tunnel through there, but like, why? There's other better ways in there. What is even half of this about? It makes no sense. Alright, back to Pallet Town. Materials in hand this time. It's a little chilly in my room tonight. Forgot to grab the asphalt, but I think the bigger focus right now should be on the house. We are gonna have to figure out something to do with that other side of the house, because I forgot that that's the side that faces the Pokemon Center, and that's just gonna look really bad if it is just flat. Have to get the door too. Oh no, we may just work on a bit more of this and end up calling it an early stream around when I plan to break time. I just don't have the mental acuity tonight that I like to have for streaming. I think it's silly to push if I don't, you know? Well, we'll keep going for now. My brain's still on this task. I would like to get this to a point that at least if somebody watched this on the VOD afterwards, they'd be like, oh, this guy accomplished something, built something. $40 might not have been enough. Has to have been close to 40 already. Come on. Watch, we're gonna be 1 or 2 short, I swear. Yep. That is the Anthony special. But at least once we figure out where stairs are gonna go, that's fine. shutter situation doesn't make a ton of sense from inside the house, but I think it also doesn't necessarily not make sense. I don't know. Experimentation, right? We'll figure it out. It does look so good from the outside. This wall does need a window, though. Even if it's not going to be a symmetrical wall. That's my problem to get over symmetry. Not going to throw off the balance too bad. We need to move it over one. Say maybe my literal only complaint about this game so far, and I haven't encountered it until now basically, is that where's the windows? Okay. Is that like once you get building in multiple towns besides just the wasteland and you're away from your base, unless you want to move literally all of your items over every time that you're working in different towns, it's going to be a lot of back and forth to build. You know, it's already enough back and forth in my house, on my own base to do that, but if we just did a whole wall of windows there. Cross that bridge later. That tree is going to go after all. An attempt was made to save trees around the build. That's the important part, right? Alright, we're starting to look like something from the front of the house. Starting to look like something from that side. Obviously starting to look like something from that side. I think we probably should just do a wall of windows there, because that's going to look good from that angle, and that's the angle that we're like, one of the angles that we're seeing from here. For me, while I really like decorating the insides of the house and doing the insides of the house as detailed as possible, the exteriors definitely take priority. It's our last sash window. It's fine. Oops, that's not where it goes. Starting to look like something. door we're going to use is actually going to be 3 tall. That's the start. Turn back to Withered Wastelands and grab our door. Think about things for a second here. So happy with the way that the lighting turned out on our tavern over here. I also need to get it on switches so that during the day I can turn things off. So our bridge is all set up on a series of switches to be able to turn the lights off during the day. Have an iron door. Should. I don't think I've gone crazy using all of them. Cool. Got exactly one. Alright, Smear Guru, calling on you once more. Alright, let's paint our door white. Oh, did I already paint that white earlier? Yeah, okay, cool. Very cool. Oh, and we need to print more windows while we're here. If we get some more windows on and get a door on there, then we can throw some furniture down, move some Pokemon in, and we'll have accomplished something. I think tomorrow during the day too, I really am just going to like grind some materials out, like just get a chest and all of the areas filled up with like 99, like a 99 stack of each of the main materials that I use a lot of, my bricks, my stone, my lumber. So go to the Dream Islands and knock that out, get all my Pokemon processing. That way we can spend much less time on stream doing this back and forth stuff. I think I have those windows in backwards. It's hard to say. Do I have any furniture on me that we could just throw down for them for the moment? I do. Let's give you guys some things. Let's give you some of that leaf print sofa left over from the tavern build. Cooking stove over here, because I think this is going to be your kitchen eventually. I really don't have much furniture and stuff on me. Just need at least that third item to move Pokemon in. There's our jingle, which is the cue for that. Alright, so let's just start taking some homeless Pokemon and moving them, or not homeless Pokemon, but ones that haven't been moved into out of their default habitats. Be like him, Heracross. Follow me, guys. Are y'all coming? Oh, you went. How'd you? Okay. You came through the windows? Weirdos. Yep, I'm sure, man. It'd be a weird bug Pokemon house. Yep, go for it, dude. Trust me, you're really gonna like it. They did not like that, and they won't like it until we get things in there that actually suit them. Alright guys, I apologize, but that probably is gonna do it for the night. I just don't have the mental acuity tonight to put in a solid effort here, and I don't want to put in a poor effort. But I am glad that I did a stream tonight, and I'm happy with what we got started on this house. And tomorrow night, I am going to be back on stream around 10-11 p.m. Central Time again, and I will do a better job preparing myself to be able to stream for longer and to do less back and forth. And we'll finish this house up. And I promise you that while we're off to a good start here, it's looking a little bit boxy. We're going to do all of the fancy detail work and stuff like that. That's going to make this look just as nice as everything in the hometown. Which I'll go one more time back to the hometown. And I always like to kind of end things with at least a little bit of a town tour in case it's somebody's first time tuning in. And we call this stream pushing Pokopia to its limits because in the Withered Wastelands, that is very much what we're doing. We're building as densely and detailed as the game will possibly cooperate with. I really can't wait to get this all powered up better. And while I'm thinking about it, I want that poster back. Okay. I'm gonna put that poster back up in my room eventually, like assuming I can 3D print more of them. But there's a place that it needs to go more importantly right now. Is that the... Yeah. Now where's the other roof piece at? I was not trying to deconstruct my roof here. Oh, is this it on the ground? No. this game sometimes. Alright, when I picked that up, did it fall? There's the poster. What about that piece of my roof? Okay, it's right there. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I made a couple of changes to the clubhouse level of the house. Like, namely, I got this Wobbuffet thing yesterday, and got an extra Eevee doll. So I brought that in here. Got another Porygon shelf. So now we've got a little more symmetrical setup here. Oops, this level of the house is the same as it has been, but I'm also pretty happy with it. You know, might change a few small things as far as like what props are set up here and stuff, but I'm chilling with how that looks. Yeah, the Raichu sign reminds me that I found the habitat info for Raichu, and Raichu is one of my boys, so we'll be getting Raichu in tomorrow's stream, or trying to. Yeah, the basement of the tavern needs this other Speedy poster. Yeah, I like the way the basement of the tavern is coming together. It's got a lot of detailing to go, but what is here works really well. In the tavern, if you didn't catch last night's stream, while the first floor is not done yet, it's mostly going to be just reception area, dining area / community areas downstairs. They've got an outdoor patio with the stage in front of our Pikachu fountain and sort of town gateway that we're building. And up on top of here, we've got a bar. And aesthetically, it matches our bridge really well. Our covered lit walkway bridge. And we've got one other house done besides my house in town. Takes me a long time to build houses. Like, each of those was its own whole day of playing this game, and when I say whole day of playing this game, I mean like 10 hours. That's one reason I'm trying to like work up my stamina for these streams, is to be able to accomplish more on a stream than I have been. But last 2 nights we actually did a really good job of finishing this covered bridge, building out the bulk of the tavern. Tonight I accomplished a little bit less than I wanted to, but you know, it is what it is. I guess quickly go over maybe one other long-term project that I've more or less decided on. I mean, my old house needs to finish coming down for sure, but this berry stand, while it's like one of my favorite individual builds, I think where it's at is a little too busy. I think that the windmill needs to be the focal point of this area. That I may either extend the pond or just build some seating area there to free up the sightline just a little bit. But then we're gonna just reconstruct that almost exactly as is over here, because then this whole area here is just gonna be like a big community market. I'm just gonna set up like as many different types of outdoor vendors as possible. It'll be like a farmer's market. And then at that point, our town center here will be done. Say that like it's a small amount of work. That's probably like a week's worth of playing this game and streaming to actually check all of that off of the list. But we're getting somewhere. We're really getting somewhere. Again, I apologize for the short stream. I know especially I've got a couple of people that like to come and hang out here. That right about now is usually when they'd be finding the stream. But maybe they'll find the VOD instead. So I'm gonna take this early night, get some rest, and make sure that I come back at it tomorrow with a little bit better mental acuity. But I'm determined to make this overnight streaming thing work out. It works out well when it does work, and it works out well more often than not. But I'm still in the transitionary period of making this schedule work, and tonight didn't quite have it. So for that, I'm sorry, but hopefully you still found some enjoyment in the stream. I'm still happy to be doing this, still happy to be playing this game. If you watched the VOD and you enjoyed it, check out the VODs from our past streams. I haven't built all of this on stream, but increasingly moving forward, I'm trying to do the important building on stream. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be a huge help to me. Biggest help for a small streamer possible. So thank you, and we'll go for longer tomorrow.